Are you frustrated with the lackluster responses that you keep getting out of ChatGPT? Well, you're in the right place. You're about to discover how to command ChatGPT to start giving you better outputs with these 6 simple tips. ChatGPT has been all the rage lately, but so many are still left wondering how to get better outputs. In today's video, I'm going to give you 6 golden nuggets that you've likely not heard anywhere else, but first, allow me to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Cody. I'm a copywriter and a digital marketer for health and wellness brands like yours, and I am totally obsessed with helping you create messages that resonate with your audience so that you can build your community and sell out your offers with less stress and more ease. Before we get into the juicy stuff, if you're new here, welcome to the community. I'd like to invite you to join me and many others as we explore the world of online marketing together. We are going to discover trends, tools, and strategies to build your digital empire. I'll provide you with everything from crafting content that connects to writing copy that converts, leveraging AI tools, and so much more. So if that sounds good to you, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button below, and don't forget to hit the bell to be notified when my next video goes live. I get it, you're busy. The great news is that these tips only take a few minutes to implement, but they make a huge difference. And in the long run, it ends up saving you a ton of time. So without further ado, let's get into tip number 1. Tip number 1, pre-prompt ChatGPT, always. This is going to make a huge difference because pre-prompts give chat something to work off of before you start asking it questions. Depending on what you're asking of it, you can pre-prompt it with information about your business, your brand voice, your business avatar, or even specific information that you want it to know pertaining to your social media, blog posts, or even your videos. Let's walk through a quick pre-prompt example so I can show you what I mean. Imagine that you have a health coaching business focused on helping busy moms get fit. Your pre-prompt could be something like, I'm a certified health coach who helps busy working moms improve their fitness and nutrition in a sustainable way that actually works with their lifestyle. And then you could say, my approach is non-judgmental and tailored to each person, focused on making small progresses over time. My ideal clients are between the ages of 30 and 45 with young kids who struggle to prioritize their own well-being. My brand voice is warm, empathetic, and encouraging. Now, if I were to go and ask ChatGPT to generate a social media post or a blog title, it has the right context about my niche, my brand voice, to provide relevant suggestions that are actually tailored to my business, right? Without that pre-prompt though, it could create any output that is pretty generic and not align with your specific audience or messaging. So pre-prompting gives AI a jump start right from the beginning. Real quick, before we move on to the next tip, if you're brand new to using ChatGPT for content creation, I created a quick starter guide that covers the basics of generating health content with AI, and you can grab that below in the description. It'll go over the fundamentals to help set yourself up for success. Tip number 2, use examples. If chat keeps giving you outputs that don't fit what you're going for, then the very best thing that you can do is give it an example of what you are asking of it. Let's say that you're asking it to write a social media post, but it keeps starting off every post with a question. No matter what you do, it puts a question. You could tell it to stop asking questions, yeah, and sometimes that works, but it also might not work. There are times when it doesn't, and in that case, you could simply give it an example of what you are looking for. Examples also help ChatGPT when it writes boring, low-quality content. You could go find well-written posts, pages, or blogs to share into the chat. Just make sure they're not too long because there's a limit there. But this shows ChatGPT the level of quality that you expect and what you're looking for, and it helps it to understand. So ask it, do you understand? And once it confirms that it understands, then you can try your prompts again. All right, tip number 3 is about rephrasing misunderstandings. Sometimes chat will just flat out not understand what it is that you're asking of it. It's just the nature of the chatbot. But this is where you need to do a little bit of rephrasing. Here's an example. When I was trying to find the main benefit of this video, this one right here that you're watching, I asked chat to help me out with that request. And it spit out an output that was so weird. It was like, impress your boss with consistent chatbot results. And I was like, what? And then I quickly realized that it didn't know who my target audience was. After all, I mean, you're not trying to impress a boss, right? You're a business owner who wants to use ChatGPT to help with your content creation and not create plain Jane ChatGPT social media post, right? So I had to help it, and I was like, thank you. These are pretty good, but not exactly what I was looking for, because this video is actually for health business owners, not people who work as employees. And so it gave me this output, and it was like, follow my tips so that your wellness blog readers see you as an inspiring thought leader and not just another chatbot. And so as you can see, it's not exactly perfect, but it got me a lot closer. It resonates more with my target audience than the first one. And normally you will get way better outputs than this. I don't know. I must have forgot to put something in there. So that's why it gave me this. And it's great for this example. But the key is being adaptable and willing to guide the chatbot to understand your specific needs. All right, tip number 4 is to keep a training/coaching mindset when you go and talk to the chatbot. You want to pretend that ChatGPT is your eager new content writing intern. And when it delivers a draft piece of content, resist the urge to immediately want to rewrite everything yourself. I know it is very hard. Instead, put on your coaching hat and provide constructive feedback to train the bot. I'm going to give you some examples of what that could look like here in just a second. All right, here's one example. The draft has good information, but the tone is too formal. Revise it to match my brand's conversational style. This is a very common one, by the way, because chat loves to write very formal. And so this is probably one that you would use quite often. Another one is you included some great statistics, but they would resonate more with my audience if you could reframe them into relatable examples. Here's another one. The draft covers useful points, but could you focus more on the actionable takeaways that my clients want? So just like training a new employee, be clear in your feedback and give the bot concrete guidance for improving its work. I know it seems like a lot of work, but trust me, it really does pay off. Tip number 5, specify your tone and style right off the bat. ChatGPT uses a formal academic tone by default, like I was just saying. But that can come across as too academic, sterile, dry, and robotic. This makes it really difficult for your readers to resonate and engage with your content. People connect with other humans, and that's usually through informal language, not stiff, overly proper language. And you can achieve this by making sure that you're using contractions, idioms, and sentence fragments to make you sound more relatable. For instance, let's say that ChatGPT generates this formal response. A new study reveals that walking 22 minutes per day can increase cardiovascular health. Living an active lifestyle is important. I know, I had to be like overly exaggerative there because sometimes it does read like that when we write content that's overly formal. But to make this more relatable, I could prompt the bot and say something like, can you revise this to more of a conversational tone? Imagine you're speaking casually to a friend and encouraging them to take action. Make sure to end the question to get them thinking about how they can apply that habit in their own life. And chat might reply with something like, trouble staying active? I feel you. But just 22 minutes of walking per day can do wonders for your heart health. What's one small way that you can get those steps in today? So As you can see, giving clear tone and guidance initially will shorten revisions needed later to match your brand's voice. Now, onto the final game-changing tip for getting the most out of your AI writing. All right, tip number 6 is probably one of the most important tips that you can take away from this today, and it really doesn't even have anything to do with talking to the robot, but it definitely has something to do with keeping your freaking sanity, and that is to keep a prompt library. I can't tell you how many times I have reinvented the wheel because I didn't keep a prompt library. Now I do, and I highly recommend that you do the same because it's really frustrating when you have to recreate all your prompts. So just keep a collection of all your favorite prompts or the frequently used prompts, and you could store them in something like Google Drive or in a folder on your laptop or your computer. Works just fine as well. Because again, the last thing you want to do is to have to train the AI from scratch every single time that you talk to it. Because then you'll assume it's faster to just write it yourself, and you may never utilize the incredible opportunities that come along with getting the most out of ChatGPT. All right, there you have it. 6 ways to get more out of your ChatGPT prompts so that you can create content that truly resonates with your audience. Implementing just a few of these can save you a ton of time and frustration in the long run, and more importantly, you'll end up with copy and posts and content that feels like it was crafted just for your audience. I can't wait to see you put these tips into action on your next project, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit subscribe, push like, and leave a comment. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.